Welcome back. Let's get to the other big story today. Earlier this year, US President Donald Trump complained about American products finding it difficult to access the Indian markets. This issue has still not been sorted out, as it is clear from a senior US Department of State official's testimony to the House Committee on Foreign Affairs. CNBC TV 18 Rituparna Bhuyan and Arif Sherwani have this report.
India and the United States will always be tied together in friendship and respect.
But at that same meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the White House, President Trump also highlighted a problem American manufacturers had apparently complained about.
It is important that barriers be removed to the export of U.S. goods into your markets and that we reduce our trade deficit with your country.
Over 2 months down the line, the U.S. State Department says not much has changed. Alice Wells, the acting assistant secretary in the U.S. State Department, deposed before the House Committee on Foreign Affairs, saying both countries are still working on the problem.
The administration is doing an assessment of the top countries with trade deficits, and the goal is to equalize and reduce those trade deficits. And in the case of India, there are obvious areas where we can work to improve IPR protection, to reduce non-tariff barriers. We have several high-level serious dialogues through USTR and the Department of Commerce to tackle specific sectoral issues. We've used the WTO in the case of our chicken, our poultry and egg exports, where we expect India to implement the WTO ruling.
This even as the American government hard sells American-made F-16 and F-18 fighter planes to India.
India, over the next 7 years, is projected to spend $30 billion in military modernization. Our companies like Boeing and Lockheed, with the F-18s and the F-16s, are natural competitors and would deeply enhance our interoperability with India.
India's booming civil aviation space has not escaped America's notice either.
During the Prime Minister's visit in June, we had the announcement of a $23 billion plane sale. And planes, commercial aircraft, as well as military aircraft, are a key sector for exports in the future.
USA's insistence on greater market access is not surprising. After all, the Trump administration's promise of more jobs will become much easier to fulfill if demand from markets like India increases. There may also be more opportunities to find common ground, as both administrations get ready for a new annual dialogue format starting this year. But a lot hinges on just how quickly this common ground can be found. In New Delhi with Rituparna Bhuyan, Arif Sherwani.